Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be with you here in Cannes. Maybe you could just begin with a brief introduction to this amazing film, The Nature of Love. What can people expect when they watch it?
They can expect to have a very um, I don't know what they can expect.
Maybe mixed feelings,
Yeah,
but in
mixed
a good
feeling.
way.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's a comedy, but it's a melancholic too, and it's a love story. So, and it's very like it's kind of a people pleaser, I think. You know,
well, we hope so.
we hope so. No?
I think maybe it's sexy, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And fun.
and fun.
Yeah. And
And
feminist.
Yes, absolutely.
of course, it's your third film, and you could say there's maybe a thread of talking about love, but this is from maybe a slightly different perspective or a very specific perspective. Can you talk a bit about the genesis of the project, where the idea came from, and what you wanted to do with this particular film?
I think I started to write it. It was 5 years ago, and I think I myself. Well, I wanted to for my third film to do a love story. It was my second film actually because my second film
Was shot before
yeah, it
this
was
one.
shot before. It wasn't right for, with it wasn't my writing. So anyway, my second screenplay, I wanted to talk about love and make a love story. You know when you're on Facebook and people are like, "Do you have like a recommendation for a love film?" I was like, I would like to that my film was add in this thing. You know, you like people wants to see love story like one, two, three times, like four times. You know, when you think of like the bridges of Madison County, like I'm like, yeah, I've seen it like four like it's a comfy film, you know. And also like I started to think of this like rom-com I would like love to write, and then I myself was like in a question of a lot of question about like couple, and I felt like very like choked by couple. Can we say that like and this concept of couple and what it was love for me and passion and desire and and um, and um, and cheating and stuff like that. So I started to read a lot about that by the philosopher, and by those philosopher, I think I started to create my story of those two people from very like different classes and what would happen if they meet. You know.
I feel we've been fed with strange love stories when I think about it now. Rom-coms usually the woman is chasing a man who is unavailable, and in those beautiful, great love stories, they're often toxic. If we think about it, and if we
In the literature too, like we are like raised by toxic love story, and yeah, it was a volunteer to not like go this way.
and to write it and film it from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
And I know you've worked together before and you're also really good friends. Maybe you could talk a little bit about why you wanted to take on the project. And I guess you already have like a bit of a shorthand with each other, so it must be a lot of fun. Did you kind of develop the character together a bit? I mean, how did you see her?
This I don't really know how I developed the character because this process was so unique. So, Monia, I had the privilege to read Monia's first version of the script. That was like 4, 5 years ago. And I completely fell in love with her. I was already in love with her and her writing and her directing. But then I fell in love with the script, but also the character. And I've rarely wanted to play a character as much as this one. Sofia was like, oh, this is me. And that was like a few years ago. And I think I'm glad the movie took a few years um, to be made because I'm 40 years old now. And I think it's even more powerful at 40 than it was at 35 or 36. And then developing the character, I just feel that this character has been with me for so long because it's the character is so close to Monia's mind, and the film speaks about things that we've been sharing, talking for many years now, and it evolved with her, with us throughout the years. So I think it was just, I don't know, a flow.
And can you tell us, obviously working with your friend, what's so great about having her in your film?
Everything, I would say. I think that she was the one and the perfect one to do this character, to do this wonderful Sofia. And I think I say wonderful because it's more than my writing. The level zero is my writing, and then she comes with all her force and intelligence and funny sense of make her alive. And but it took me a long time to ask her if she wanted to do it, because I was afraid that our friendship would interfere in this project, and my friendship with her was more precious than anything. But yeah, I think it was obvious for me that first of all, she's very sensual, but she's also intelligent, and she could, like, for me, being very credible in a philosophy professor at university, because she has this really great balance between like sensuality, beautifulness, but also like very big brain.
And maybe you could talk a little bit about like the tone and how you can use comedy, I guess, to tackle some, quite weighty or serious issues, whether you're talking about aging or class differences or motherhood, and the difference between sort of thinking of love in a philosophical way versus in reality. So maybe talk about the tone, but also the themes you wanted to explore.
It's not difficult for me, but kind of to talk about my tone, because it's my in my DNA. It's the way I think life. I never think of myself as as a funny person who write comedy. For me, it's just I write life, and for me, life is like sometimes fun, sometimes sad, sometimes melancholic, and I try to make it this balance in my film. I like to write like that. I never like stuff myself for when I write a scene. Like, I don't ask myself it has to be comic because it's a comedy. If I feel that this scene's gonna have to be dramatical, I'll be dramatic. If I it's, and
If
if
I may,
yeah.
it's even, quite the opposite, actually, because writing, playing comedy, I find so incredibly difficult. People don't realize the energy, the timing, the precision that it takes. Reading the script is so incredibly funny, and she never directed us in that way. Because everything the comedy was written, and it kind of rose from the situation and the characters and the writing, but then she directed us in a very sensitive way to bring out the humanity, the something really profound from the characters. So it kind of just emerged from her writing.
And we say that comedy is drama plus time. So my character are in this situation. So I always say tell my actor, like, play it like it's a Bergman film.
Yeah.
Never play the comedy.
First degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just finally, what do you hope people take away from watching it, and particularly presenting it here in Cannes? I know your first film was here as well. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means a lot for sure, especially I think because I'm a woman. I'm a woman from a territory that has a great equality between men and women. So it's nice to have my voice ears, because it's an international festival, of course. So to share like our way, our views of society with a lot of people from around the world, it's wonderful. And yeah, I want that people feel some kind of a tenderness when they're gonna see it, and yeah.
And for you?
What it means to be here. So much. It's very humbling. I'm also very excited. Today, very tired. Cannes is also very tiring. But to be here with a film in which we believe, with the people we love, to defend our views, our hearts, it's a privilege. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that
Thank
with
you.
me.
Thank
Really
you.
enjoy your presenting your film here in Cannes. Thanks a lot.